So the Mad Lads went and did it. They actually put only 2 units on each banner for the featured units, and this is extremely good. Probably some of the best banners we'll ever see in GS, because there's no filler. If you get a featured, you're getting a blood nut. Talk about each of the banners and which ones I think you should personally summon on. So for the first banner, we're gonna have Riviera and Thetas. This will be lasting from November 27th to November 29th. After that, we're gonna have Berwick and Duke, which is gonna be coming from November 27th to November 29th. Rosetta and Leon will be coming after that at November 30th through December 2nd, followed by the final banner, which will be Swick and Vox on December 3rd to December 5th. Also, let me mention too, there will be no like downtime between each of the banners. Not talking like maintenance wise, but like whenever one banner goes away, the other banner will instantly go live. It's not like we're not gonna have a legendary summon for like a few hours. So let's talk about the first one, Riviera and Thetas. Riviera is an absolute glass cannon. You guys know this. If you guys watched any of my videos, you guys know that she's a glass cannon. Especially if you watched the recent stream, you know how much of a glass cannon she actually is. But with that being said, she's a very good glass cannon. She does a lot of damage. But if you do not have the units and resources, I say, to kind of micromanage her, she's gonna be a very frustrating unit to use. The reason for that is because Thetas brings so much. She's probably the most perfected defensive unit I've ever seen in any gacha game. The way how Thetas works is he is a taunt tank. Thetas will taunt the enemy upon using his true art after he enters Magia Drive, and then once he taunts the enemy, he's going to be put up a huge shield. I think this shield is like 20,000 if I'm not mistaken. I use them all the time and I don't know how much his shield actually is good. Thetas' shield rarely ever breaks because of his Magia Drive passive. His Magia Drive passive gives him damage mitigation, and then also with him being a taunt tank, his Magia Drive passive goes really well because if he gets hit at any point in time while his Magia Drive is on, he gains art gen. It's 1 art gauge every time he gets hit, so I don't think it's anything crazy, but you can pretty much fully charge your art gauge if you're playing against like the princess fight and the princess does her like laser beam type of attack, you know what I mean? That will deadass charge Thetas' art gauge all the way up to max. Now onto the good stuff. Do I think you should summon on Riviera and Thetas? If you do not have Thetas, I would say that you summon, because Thetas is a very longevity unit. He's an amazing tank, has damage mitigation, tons of stuff going for him. So if you're in desperate need of Thetas, I say you summon. But however, if you do not have Riviera and you want to summon for Riviera, if you are lacking Vox or Berwick, then I would say don't summon. Riviera is not going to be that game changing for you as someone like Vox or Berwick. But yeah, if you don't have Thetas, summon for Thetas. If you have Thetas, skip. That's my general tip on it. Next is Berwick and Duke. So Duke is an insane breaker, the best breaker in the game. His break scales with his damage output, so the more damage he's putting out, the more break he'll be getting. Berwick is insane. He's giving you the 50% damage up, and then if you're fire elemental, you get 100% damage up instead. On top of that too, Berwick's, like I said, going to give him 100% crit chance with his Magia Drive. And then upon using his Magia Drive as well, he will also instantly get a 200 art gauge. And then while in Magia Drive, he's going to be regenerating his arts as well by 3, which is just, oh man. So Berwick is SS tier, like I said, probably top 3 in the game. And Duke is the best breaker in the game. Banner is also a summon. If you do not have Berwick, I think you should summon. If you have Berwick, I think you should skip, because Duke, even though he's the best breaker in the game, whenever you need a breaker, majority of the time your go-to breaker will usually be enough. I would say though that Duke does have a little bit of the advantage of being an extremely hard-hitting breaker. If you don't have Berwick, summon on this banner. If you do have Berwick, skip. Next is Rosetta and Leon. Let me just say, this banner is probably the worst out of all of them. Rosetta is very good. Let me not get that twisted, right? Rosetta is very good. The thing about Rosetta though is that she's really only going to benefit you if you already have an established mono water team. I mean, overall, she's a good art genner. As of the recent banners and also as the unit choice ticket, you may already have good enough art genners and healers because you maybe picked Finn from the unit choice and then you got Mako from Kill la Kill. So it's not like you necessarily need Rosetta. Rosetta is more so of a luxury unit, and you really only see her with mono water. Next is Leon. Leon is very niche. Her kit is really cool. Being able not to die and just repeatedly being able to true art over and over and over until you literally have no more health left is a really cool feature. Same thing with Riviera, it needs micromanaging. So this banner in general, I don't like. I don't think you should summon on this at all. The only way I see you summon on this banner is that if you already have a really set up and established OP mono water team and you want Rosetta just to be a luxury unit that fills up the rest of your mono water team. Rosetta and Leon banner overall is a skip. And then we have the final banner. The final banner, of course, being Swick and Vox. Let's talk about Swick first because Vox doesn't really need an explanation. So Swick is going to give physical damage 100% up on True Art, which is really good when paired along someone like Vox. You get a very, very good damage increase. Not only this, Swick is going to be giving art gem with normal art as well. He also has the same thing as Vox too, where he has 40 art gauge up on his skill when in Magia Drive, so you don't really have to worry about getting too much art gen to him. His slots are nowhere near as good as Vox, however. He doesn't have a 5-star support slot, unfortunately. But even with that being said, if you are ever using a team with a physical damage dealer and you're just trying to look for another unit just to fill out the rest of the roster on your team, then Swick is your guy. Swick is going to be insane for you. Now on to Vox. Vox is just overall the jack of all trades, the best of the best, and pretty much everything he does. He's giving 100% crit chance to all allies upon using True Art. The 45,000% damage modifier upon using his True Art as well is insane. His Magia Drive is ridiculously OP, giving him 100% skill CT recovery and attack 100%, so you're doubling your attack and reducing your skill CT by 100% as well. And let's not even talk about, his normal art as well, where he just increases all ally stats by 30%, and whenever he uses that kind of acts as a pseudo heal. He also has increased critical damage by 80%. Vox also has accuracy though on one of his abilities, which is ridiculous. Really good against anybody that has evasion. But yeah, overall, this banner I think is the one that really gives you the most, because Vox is uber top tier. He fits in any team comp and he's used pretty much all the time. Swick only really fits with physical damage dealers, but if you're using Vox, you can pretty much put Swick on the same team. So Vox and Swick I think is the banner that everyone, no matter what, should summon, should save for. This is the one that everyone should go really hard on. But let's say if you already have Vox, should you summon for Swick? It's up to you. It depends if you want Swick for your physical damage dealing teams. If you don't feel like he's necessary, then you can easily skip. But these banners are insane for all players. They're gonna be extremely good, and I recommend everyone summon on them. You'll be a fool not to summon. Now I also want to say this too as well at the end of the video. The forever summon is gonna be coming soon, around anniversary more than likely, which will be like in December. Whenever the forever summon comes, more than likely all the Blood Knights will be in it. So if you are wanting just a very specific unit, let's say if you only want Rosetta, you technically don't have to summon. You could wait for the forever summon to get Rosetta. So keep that in mind whenever you're doing your summons, that if you're only really pulling for one unit, maybe save it for the forever summon. But if you don't want a chance to forever summon, then of course summon now. But guys, that's gonna be it for the video, man. Thank you all for coming out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more Grand Summers content on the channel. So yeah guys, thank you all for coming out though. It's been your boy OP, and I'm out guys. Peace.